What's up, guys? And Divine here. Nick Divine. What's up, Mark? What's up, Brian? Redneck Vapor, Mark, Randy, what's up? I don't know if I'm coming to Vapo too, because I also have work tomorrow, so I'll see where the night takes me, but I forgot that not only was I going to do live, but I have work early tomorrow. So I'll see how I feel after this. But Andrew, actually, one of the guys that's usually in the chat, he should be here soon, actually asked me to go back and do this build again. I've done this build a while ago. This was actually when like the first Goon came out. There was a build off that Blue Eye Goon threw on, and this was my entry to the build off. So everybody usually likes this build, so lots of people ask me to show it. Actually, only a couple people asked me to actually do it live. But I told people to tell me if they want to see something, and Andrew was the first one. Somebody else asked me for Razorback, but I just don't have the wire right now to be messing around with that. So, Stanley, what's up? So this is the, Brian, what's up? So this is the build I'll be doing. I've done this build a couple times. The second time I did it, I actually called it a spaceship build because it kind of looks like a flying saucer if it was the other way. And I paralleled alien in there. I used alien wire to parallel next to it. But it's a micro Clapton. Wrapped around like 26, I think. And then it's 2 pieces of ribbon on each side, and then 2 more pieces of 26 on frames, and then fused together with 40 gauge. I think this micro Clapton is like a 3240 or something. So I'm going to bring down the sizes of a lot of these wires to make it a little smaller. So I knew I was going to do this, so basically before I hopped on, I did the micro Clapton. So, what's up, Nelson? Bone. What's up? Bones. Brad, what's up? So, I did the micro Clapton, so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me do 4 feet of a micro Clapton. I did it before I hopped on. So, if all goes well, if this build gets done at a decent amount of time, which this build could go one of 2 ways. It can be a pain in the ass. Getting the square wire, like the ribbon wire, to sit next to a round wire can be a pain in the ass. But with this build, if it comes up a little bit, it actually doesn't make it look all that bad. So we'll see how it goes. It shouldn't take me that long now that the micro Clapton's done. So as long as all goes well, my Druga upgrade came. So I got the upgrade for the Druga. You know, I got the Druga a little bit ago, and here's the upgrade pack. So it came today. So yeah, finally, it took a long fucking time. And I didn't look at the address on the box. I'm gonna have to check, but it had to come from like China or something. I think All Vape isn't a United States company. I'm actually almost positive it's not. So, Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite builds I did that wasn't, isn't like somebody else's complete concept, This is just a bunch of concepts thrown together to make something a little creative, so. Alright. So now I didn't measure what this micro Clapton was. Not that it matters, because if I only get a single coil, that's fine. And I've been wanting to put this kind of wire in a certain build for a while. Ever since I did it, I wanted to revisit it and put it in a certain kind of build. So I'm hoping I get enough wire to wrap a coil and have enough to do this certain build that I've been wanting to do. So this is my micro Clapton all done. It's I guess we can measure it now. So it's 12 feet there. This is going to be a very rough measurement. It's a little more than 3 feet. It's like 3 feet 3 inches or something. It took me about, the Clapton is 3442, so 34 core, 42 Clapton, and it took me, I don't know, I think it took me like 7 minutes to get down this thing, something like that, maybe even less, maybe 5 minutes. It didn't seem like it took that long. Yeah, I actually got the lighter, but thanks. Alright. So the next part of the build is 26 gauge. So 26. Yeah. So I have some 26 here. I'm going to use some 26 stainless steel. I'm just going to get about a foot of it. Yeah, lots of people like that Pound Town. Right now I'm vaping, I'm still vaping that, whatchamacallit. I'm vaping the Killer Custard Strawberry. Got my, Tesla box. And I'm also vaping on my mech. I'm finishing up that Love Handle juice, the blueberry lemon cake. But this stuff, I mean, I can't say it enough. It's a really good juice. The original one's good too, but I think I may like this one a little more. That strawberry is a good addition. So this thing is like it's kind of like a groove fused. It's not really like a Staggerton. I really just squeeze that 40 gauge in there. So when I take this wire and Clapton it, I don't have to really leave any spaces. Because if you can see, It's just groove fused. I kind of just squeezed it in there. I didn't do no spacing or nothing. Just squeezed right in there. Oh yeah, you're already mixing strawberries with your killer custard. Got that, and I got the dead rabbit on that AV clone. And that's what this is in. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, right? I wish it was authentic, but... Yeah, you didn't like that custard by itself? I liked it a lot. Custard's a weird thing, though. Not a lot of people are that big of a fan of custards. Alright. So I'm going to get my 26 on my drill. The Doge 4 comes with 2 decks, huh? Are they like builder's decks, or is like the one a builder deck at least? Because the Doge, usually, it was great to build on back in the day, because it had like the biggest post holes. But for the most part, it was for like, it was for comp guys. It was for like cloud comps and shit. What's up, Kenny? Alright, I think I'm going to try something a little different with this Clapton too. I think I'm going to put some weight on the end of it. Unless... Actually, no. I could actually hold it the way I usually hold it. So... I'm going to take the end. This is the part that was on my drill. So I'm just going to take that part. Because when you have a micro Clapton, you obviously want to get everything out of it that you can. Because you spend a lot of time on it and it's a lot of wire. I mean, some micro Claptons have like 100 feet of wire in it, depending on how small of wire you used. I mean, this alone probably has about 35 feet of wire in it. 42 gauge around 34. A 3-foot strain, it's probably about 30 feet, maybe more. If you did like 46, around a 36, like 6 feet of that, that's like easy 100 feet, I believe. So I grabbed the other end of my micro Clapton. Yeti's uncle, what's up? Stanley, what's up? Train, what's up? So I grabbed the other end of my micro Clapton with my needle noses, and I kind of just pull it as I Clapton. It just gives it that good tension that you usually get from the spool. You could also re-spool it. You know, you could put it around an old spool and use it like that. But let me see if I can catch a close-up of me Clapton in this. Some dude, what's up? Yeah, finally caught one of these live builds here. Danny, what's up? Alright. So now I'm just going to get the other end, like I said, with my needle noses. And I just pull back as I'm clapting. And plus, you don't really want to hold here because it might mess up your clapton, your micro clapton. It's very fragile. So I'm just pulling it. You see that tension I got there? I'm going to start with a space clapton a little bit because this is going to be a lead anyway, probably. And then I'm going to close in and get a nice tight clapton. Kind of see there's a little bit of a space in there for me to go. So the part in my drill broke off, so this isn't grabbing onto anything. So what I'm going to do, usually I just bend it and stick it in the drill more. But instead of doing that, I may just hit it with some hot glue real quick. Just a little dab on the end. A dab will do you. Just to hold that micro clapton on the end there. Frap Life. I'm going to get sponsored by Starbucks. It's on. Definitely. I like to set goals. That's a goal. I'll settle for DeWalt, but I think I drink more money in frappuccinos than more money in drills, if that makes any sense. Kenny helps not glue. I like it so much. Alright. Now I'm going to do the loosening thing like I do on my decors. Put my drill in reverse. I'm holding the Clapton, twisting it a bit, and now it'll move on my core a bit for when I put that 40 gauge in the gaps. I don't need it to move a lot, just enough. Because it really is just like a groove fused. So you could technically just do this tight, but I kind of like how it kind of falls in the gaps. Cut that clean. So what I ended up getting out of that 3 feet is 5.5 inches. Alright? So if you wanted to do 2 coils, you would have to Clapton around 5 feet. A 5-footer would get 2 Clapton wires. Dwayne, what's up? Jeffrey, what's up? Philip, what's up? Toos, what's up? Cloud Envy, what's up? Kenny, I don't think I said what's up, but I knew you were here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Derek, what's up? Got a full room today. Damn. Thanks for hanging out. 8 years, Redneck, huh? I'm a little over 4. I'm doing, if you've seen the shot that I did on this video, the picture, that's the coil I'm doing now. I'm trying to almost exactly replicate it. It's going to be, I'm going to do it on a little smaller of a scale. Not too much smaller, just a little smaller. Some of the gauges I'm dropping down. Coming up on 7 years. Good for you guys. So this is what I'm doing. My micro Clapton's a little smaller this time around. And I think them outside frames are going to be a little smaller. Grey Wolf, what's up? And thank you. So I think I'm going to put a video together. I really need to figure out how to get music on my videos. I really do. I was just saying that, Philip. That's what I called it. I did this coil again and put Alien in the... I paralleled an Alien and I called it a spaceship because it kind of looks... It kind of looks like a UFO spaceship this way. Like if you just had that, it looks like a UFO sideways. And that's pretty much what I want to do with this build. I wanted to wrap it almost like a stovetop sideways, so not standing up, sitting down, and put a little Alien coil in there. Yeah, a UFO basically is what that kind of looks like. So the same thing with how they made this RDA to look. That bottom. It's kind of the idea I get when I look at this wire. Yeah, so I wasn't going to do the spaceship one today. I hope I yield enough wire. I was going to wrap a regular coil. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, I guess I could just scrap the regular coil. You guys know what it looks like. It's right there. Alright. So So this is done. Now all I got to do is put ribbon on either side and frames on either side and groove fuse it with 40. And that's pretty much it. After the micro clapton, it's not that difficult if you prep it right. Now them cores, like the frames I put on this, they can go all over the place if you're not careful. But we'll try not to do that. So I'm going to use 0.4, and I think I'm going to stay with the stainless steel theme. So I just need 2 times the size of my, I'm going to call this a clapception because that's what it is right now. So 2 times the size of my clapception section. I'm not going to do the whole section because I don't need all that. That would just be a waste. So I'm going to do 2 times the size of that clapception. I put 2 pieces of ribbon on each side. So I need 2 of these pieces that I then can bend in half. Alright. So now I'm going to take these 2 pieces, bend them in half, and I think I'm actually going to prep this ribbon a little backwards. So I got my 2 pieces bent here, my 2 pieces of ribbon. I'm stretching it because you don't have to stretch the Coil Society, not the stainless steel anyway. That's the only Coil Society I have ever messed with. So right now it's kind of a habit, but I actually do want it to be a little smaller. I don't want it to be the full 0.4 because I think I'm going to use 27 frames. But I didn't have to do that. It comes off the spool pretty straight. It's a pretty nice ribbon. Alright, so I got so I'm putting the loop on my drill side basically. And then I'm just going to take some 40 gauge, wrap it around a bunch of times. And I could just walk my fingers down to the other end. You don't want to slide them. Basically because of that microclapping. So I just want to walk down, make sure my ribbons are good. And actually, when I get to the middle, I'm just going to put a temporary binder here. That's going to come off almost immediately. So I'm going to leave it long. Walk down the rest of the way. And when I get to this end, I could bind this side up. So I'm going to end up getting another RDA in the mail also. Obviously, I told you guys I ordered the Springer RDA, but there's actually another one coming from a company. I'll show you that in a bit. I don't want to get started talking on it. But definitely next week, I'm going to get the giveaway kicked off. This week, I'm going to spend time figuring out what RDA is going to be in it. I'm probably going to end up doing RDAs that from companies because I'm going to be ended up buying them myself. So I'm going to end up doing RDAs from companies that have helped me out. So a couple of the companies that helped me out is obviously the company that makes the Dead Rabbit, Helvate. Whatchamacallit has always been good to me. Comp Vape has always been good to me. So but then there's this other RDA coming, so maybe something with that. Who knows? All right. So I got this. I guess let me show you guys what it looks like so far, just in case you guys don't really understand what's going on up to this point. Alright, so I got two pieces of ribbon on either side, clapception in the middle. Oh, dude, Cloud Envy. That's also what I was just about to say, dude. I was just about to fucking talk about that a little bit ago. So when I was talking about I wanted to find out how to get music without getting in trouble for it on my YouTube. So I have been talking. I try to answer all comments everywhere. If somebody talks to me, I mean, I do think it's rude not to answer. I mean, people have done it to me. But if somebody's not being a dick, I mean, I think you should answer them. If somebody's being a dick, you won't get an answer. Or if I don't understand a question and I don't want to be rude, I may not answer it, but most of the time I'll answer and ask you what you're talking about or whatever. I try not to be abrasive in any way. But I want to make, talking to people, not everybody on here hi, what's up? Yeah, in their editor, I did see that, but I think it has to play the video I'm talking about. It would be cool to play through the whole video. That's fine. I can't figure out how to just play it in certain parts, and that's the problem that I'm having. Um, but I do want to make. There are plenty of people that are watching me on YouTube that never see my Instagram, so I don't know how they're finding me. It must be from either Fresh, Coil Wars Facebook. I mean, I don't know how else, or just maybe just finding me on YouTube. Yeah, I can make my own music. I did take music in fucking college and shit. Music editing on computer, and I actually did get my daughter a synthesizer piano that could hook up to the computer. So that was one of my thoughts. But so I do want to start making some videos. Yeah, Brian, so you're from Fresh. So I do want to make some videos with pictures from my Instagram because yeah, shit looks cool on here, but I think you're not getting the full spectrum of what I can do if you're not looking at Instagram. So I'd like to make some video, maybe bring some people over to Instagram. You could download those songs available. What would I go to, buddy? Your name is Gabrine. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Sigfrey, what's up? Thank you. So now I'm going to get my frames. I'm going to use 27 gauge frames. And I'm basically going to do the same thing I did with the ribbon. Coil Wars. See, I know a lot of people know me from Coil Wars. I know that. I mean, homeboy Josh's channel is huge, and that Coil Wars really helped me out. So me on Fresh went straight to IG. Awesome. Yeah, see, I assume just because, if you've never seen me on IG, I mean, I have a pretty big following. I'm over 7,000. So I assumed most people were from there. But talking to people, there's some people that have never even seen my IG. And Coil Wars was one of the best ideas, definitely for the building community, especially at the time. It was a great idea, and it was one of the best ideas for vaping. It's like Coil Wars, and then like the Tesla Invader 2. Coil Wars, Tesla Invader 2, and then like the wheel and pencils. It's like the 4 best, in that order, 4 best inventions ever. Game of Thrones. It's like 5. Yeah, there's only a couple builders on YouTube right now active. There's actually I only really know of one that's fairly big, that's very active. He may even be either as active than as me, maybe more if it's very close, but and he's got really good videos. Go watch Sherlock Holmes. He's got good information on his videos. His production's awesome. He's got awesome production. His videos come out great. They're just really good videos. He does a good job. I mean, I watched his one alien video, and the information he gave is exactly how I would and did say it, so. Yeah, Dear Addy got his. Yeah, I have a couple videos in the beginning. Most of you might not be able to watch it because of music copyright, but I used to do it my first. Yeah, Sherlock is awesome. I like his videos. He's got very good production, and he knows his shit. Awesome, Charles. Awesome. But I mean, the other build. I mean, there's another really good video. He's only got one video. Mindforge videos. I'm sure everybody knows Mindforge. If you don't know Mindforge, you should definitely subscribe if you like, especially more intricate stuff. Mindforge is a great channel. And then there's, he just came out with a staggered video. Oh man, Jubster. So Jewb Jube Ster. Jewbster. Jubster. Go check out his channel. He's got a really good 4-core stagger fuse Clapton without swivels. So he uses a swivel for spacing the wire, and then he uses he basically does freehand, but it's like the best way to do it. He uses a straw to hold up the cores, but his way of staggering wire is much different than my way. So maybe if you don't like the way that I do it, maybe that's the way for you. Go check that out. He's an awesome builder. So this binder in the middle, I'm going to take that out. But other than them, like actively right now, I don't really know any other builders. I've seen a couple, and I've seen a couple, and I'm not going to say no names because it doesn't really matter. But sometimes I see a video and it says such and such build, and then I see what they're doing, and it's not that build. Like that's not what it's called. So it kind of turns me off to even wanting to watch it. Which whatever. I mean, a name's a name. But sometimes you put a name on something and you're building something else, and it almost seems like you're trying to get some kind of clickbait. Like if I say something, if I go, I put out the first Enigma coil tutorial. If I do that and I don't build an Enigma, it just seems weird, And I don't know if that's somebody's motive. It probably isn't, but that, like, it turns me off when I see it. Yeah. And it's a stupid little mistake, and some people don't care, and I probably shouldn't care. But, sometimes a person will ask me, like, can you build this thing? And I'm like, what the fuck is that thing? What is a frame stable fuse Clapton? What is that? I don't know what that is. I actually just got a message like that today. Awesome. Found me because of coil one. I only heard of the Enigma alien today, yeah. Clean as fuck coils, what's up? Yeah, and a lot of people are new to building, so that's why, to me, the names are a little important to me because the names almost can define a build, especially when you're doing something like what I'm doing now. Like, you don't, it's easier to define a build if you know the name and you know, like, the origin of where it came from and shit like that. But it's also important not to take yourself too fucking seriously, so I try not to get too involved with it. It's just important that people build and share and have fun doing it and get something out of it. Whether it be if they like to take pictures or they just like the hobby aspect of sitting there and doing something, or if they like to share shit with their friends and show shit off. As long as you get something positive out of it, I'm good with it. I don't like to get caught up in any kind of drama. Alright, so I wrap the frames on there. Yeah, a lot of people are in recovery that are builders and vapors. Dan the Man is your is that your channel name, Dan? I can only do fuse Claptoning, but I still enjoy watching crazy stuff. You're more a mixer, that's awesome, Jarrett. Yeah, I gotta do my frame staple and move on with them videos. First Enigma, awesome. Gotta keep your mind busy. Yeah, the thing with addicts is you gotta be addicted to something. So be addicted to something positive. We all have addictive personalities, so you gotta channel that somewhere. Another hops flavored order. All right, there you go, guys. Dan the Man has beginner builds. I also know Dwayne Rambo's putting out, and I think that having a lot of people do it is awesome. It's good to have more than one person putting out videos, more than two people. It's good to have a bunch. The more, the better. I mean, I think if there's only two people making building videos, I don't think that's healthy for building. I think it's more healthy if there was 100 fucking videos. It would just seem better to me that the community would be bigger. So that's how I see it. Plus, you get to, like I said, Dwayne Rambo did the Enigma coil on Coil Wars, and it's good to go. All right, you've seen me do the Enigma, you've seen him do the Enigma. Now you could see, you know, what are both these guys doing? That's probably what's most important. Is if we both say the stretch is so important, then you know that the stretch is important. If we both say that we like going slow on them, you probably know that maybe you should go slow on them. Yeah, who would have thought coil building would have been? Yeah, I would have never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing, but it's pretty much been my life, just falling into stuff. Enigmas are very hard to shoot. Very hard to shoot. Enigmas, try to just go from the side with Enigmas. That's like that. Don't try to shoot them straight on. Yeah, it's good to try to give back. All right. So I'll show you a close-up of what I got, and then we'll fuse it with 40. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting a hold of a good builder that has a nice camera setup. I mean, I could think of a couple off my head and just send them a couple coils to take some like really awesome shots of. Like something that I can't really do on my phone, like get them to photo stack it or something. I've been really thinking about that. Like eventually I'm going to get my own. Squonking's nice, yeah. My Squonk box is a piece of shit because it's a clone. But I'm looking into getting another one. It's just the one that I want is a little more expensive, so. Wayne is looking for someone to build for DIY or die. Really? Is that DIY or die's name, Wayne? Stitch definitely look better, and Stitch definitely... Actually, it depends what kind of person you are. Sometimes Stitch is easier, sometimes just, like me, I have trouble with the Stitch just before it gets to the coil. Yeah, I know he's from Philly. I've actually heard that. Fresh told me that. That's why I'm kind of, it's kind of cool that you just said that. I'm going to try to get in contact. He's looking for some kind of builder for something. So I got my frames, got my ribbon on there. I'm all set up and ready to go. So now I just got to fill in them gaps. Yeah, it's going to be a fat coil. Yeah, good luck with that. I'm sure he's a busy guy. I did a stitched Enigma yesterday, live. So I figured since we're talking about it. It's hard for me to just get a shot on the camera live like this itself. Yeah, tag me in that shit. Sure. Wait, is he looking for a builder to go to a meet? To a thing? Because that, yeah, that I couldn't do. I thought you were just saying like a builder period or something. For his channel, okay. Is the Enigma hard to wrap? Enigmas are hard to wrap. The coil that I'm doing now, not so much. Yeah, I love how these look. These stitched Enigmas. What's the trick to what? Wrapping? Well, I wrap them in the video that I do. Tension isn't though. You don't want tension. Yeah, any coil that I do like this, I wrap on the video. So if you go to the Enigma coil, I wrap it there, but I also show you how I wrap my staples in my staple tutorial. I show you how I usually wrap staples. I do it with a vise, and I do it with a just needle noses as the vise. Yeah, wrapping's an art in itself. It takes practice. That'd be awesome, Stanley. If not, I mean, I could probably just DM them somewhere. Or I could go there myself if you can't find it. But that'd be awesome if you're able to tag me. So... Alright, I just got to get my 40 gauge. Awesome, Dan. Alright. So I think... I put the loops on this side. So now I can send a bobby fit pin right through the center of my loops. And one more thing I want to do is hot glue this end where I started to wrap it, just so I have a good starting point that's nice and sturdy. Just don't get it on that bobby pin. So the GoVad, it's funny. Alright, Grey Wolf, thanks for hanging out, man. The GoVad, I actually, my buddy Brad just gave that to me today. It's still down in my school bag, but I was actually going to do a video on that. It's basically the Pharaoh, only smarter. So, seems pretty cool. I haven't got to vape it yet. I didn't put a build in it or anything. Alright, I'll give you one more look at this. Yeah, the Pharaoh I did really like building in and taking pictures of, but I didn't like how, I was actually just talking with Brad about this today, I didn't like how there was no air able to get in, even when you left that trap door open and you left your wick not so tight in there. There just wasn't enough air to get that juice up. The one frame's just a little funny at the beginning, and I just want to make sure that it doesn't get funny when I get down the wire a bit. And it is, it's making it go crazy, so Let me show you what's going on so you can see what I gotta fix here. So see how you see the ribbon and not the frame there? But right here, everything's pretty much stacked all right. So it started out the frame. The frame went up over the ribbon. And that's just something with this build you gotta watch out for, because you got round wire in the middle, so it does make it a little tricky. But if you catch it early, alright, so it looks like I should clip this off, the hot glue. Fix it. And re-hot glue it. Were they ceramic bearings, ball bearings? So that's just something I do even when I'm not live. I look at my build through the macro lens at certain points just to make sure shit's going okay. The start of this coil is the most important. That's why I'm taking my time and making sure I get it. Because as long as you start off good, it'll usually keep that pattern. You gotta think of when you're Claptoning this, you're basically just binding it again. So you want to make sure that you're binding it straight as you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'll get another close-up in a second. Let me get done the majority real quick. Like when you do a groove fuse, fast is usually the way to go. I feel like I should be doing this faster. Feel the core slipping a bit, and it's because it's not attached permanently. Next thing I want to do is pull the core completely out of this thing. Sometimes when you have it set up like this, where the core is running that way, if you pull too hard, this entire core will come out of this fucking Clapton. I've done stuff like that with staple wire, where I completely rip the staple wire right out of a frame staple, or out of a staple stagger fuse Clapton. I don't know what the ohms were on this thing. It's not going to be very low, so you got to think of it as it's most likely going to be a single coil unless I do this all over again, this process. Maybe this will go in the go bag. Alright, I got the staples acting up on me right here. Probably from me pulling a little too much tension as I'm fusing. It's a very round wire, so these ceramic pliers only help so much. It's really, you just gotta watch the tension. Yeah, the bead-align ones are the best. So if you get nylon pliers, go with bead-align. Same people that make the spool tamers. I had to take that clothespin off in order to get a close-up. And what happened is my frames went a little silly, so I had to back up again. But I'm almost done now. Alright, not so bad. Got her done. And once I wrap this up, that's going to pop out even more. That middle piece is really going to pop. Yeah, it came out pretty good. I like it. The finished prime. I've never met. Wait, it looks 3/8. No, 3/8 is huge. So it's a little more than a 16th. I'll put it next to another build. It's big, but it's not like, oh, that big. It's not like, I don't know what the ohms are going to be, Siegfried. I mean, I'm guessing that it's going to be around, a single coil's probably going to be around 0.2. Nah, it's a little less than 1/8. 5/32, sure. I never measured a coil before. But hey, I give the people what they want. It's cool, it's cool. So yeah, I would guess that this is around a 0.2 if you did like 5 wraps. So a dual coil would be like a 0.1. Nah, you know what? A dual coil at 5 wraps, it would be about 0.1. Yeah. Maybe a 0.08. When you clap in something, it makes the ohms go up. It doesn't make them go down because you're adding more wire, a more longer wire. So if this was just, I did the frames 26 and 227s. So if a 3-core alien, that's 26 gauge, we all know 5 wraps is about a 0.1 coil. So this is 126 and 227s. So it's also going to be around a 0.1 because when you, how do I say this? If you just wrapped 3 pieces of 26, it's going to be lower than an alien because once you add a long ass wire onto it, you add ohms to it, so it actually makes the ohms go up. A Clapton is going to always be more ohms than a bare wire. So a 24 gauge 5 wrap is about 0.4 ohms. All right, a 24 gauge 5 wrap with 36 on it is going to be higher. It's going to be like 0.42 or something. It's always going to be higher because you're adding a longer wire on there. think that's right, or is it the other way? That might be the other way, actually. I have to do a test. I remember there was a certain rule, like you'll never get to that ohms again. You'll always be higher or lower. I'm going to have to run a test one day. I'll tell you. I'm pretty sure when you clap in something, the ohms are going to be higher. But I could be wrong because you're actually also adding a wire. Yeah, it should. Maybe it should lower the ohms. Because then that's like having two wires. I know you'll never reach that ohm again once you clapped it. I just forget which way it goes. More wire, more resistance. Yeah, so like if you, like exactly the theory that I have is, let's put it this way. All right, if you have an inch of 24 gauge and if you have 3 inches of 24 gauge and you wrap it into a coil, let's say that's going to be 0.4 ohms. If you have 3 inches of 24 gauge, if you have 6 inches of 24 gauge, more wire, 6 inches, and you wrapped it into one coil, it would be about 0.8 ohms. It would go up. So I'm thinking it's the same theory. But then again, when you parallel wires, you're automatically going down. So maybe it is the other way. There's a Twisted Messes video, and I think it's just a straight up Clapton video, and that's actually where I heard that rule from. So if you really want to know, go to that. But this is going to be around the same as an alien. The clapception doesn't make it go so much lower. It's actually just like Clapton it with a piece of 32. But anyway, I guess I'll wrap this coil. I guess I'm going to do like a 4 wrap. Oh, it does affect. Lower gauge wires don't affect the ohms as much. Like 40 gauge isn't going to affect your ohms as much as 36 or 32 will, but it will affect your ohms. It's hardly, but it will. Yeah, so the difference in fuses is very little, but there is a difference. I could actually figure it out pretty quick. If I have an empty RDA here, there's actually an easy way to do this. Fuck it, we can run a test real quick. No, I'm just going to do a single core 24 gauge. That's going to be, I could have just put, I'm not going to wrap 3 parallel wires. I don't want to get too much into it. I just want to show the simplest way of finding this out. Fucking with me. So 3224 and 24. Three millimeter. One, two, three, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and take a wrap out. Alright, 8 wrap Clapton, 8 wrap round wire, 24 gauge nichrome, 32 Clapton. I'm guessing the ohms. So what do you guys think the ohms is going to be? 8 wrap Clapton, 2432. 8 wrap Clapton, 2432, all nichrome, around a 3 millimeter, going on a DNA. And single coil. See if anybody got it right. Nobody hit it dead on. There's a couple guys pretty close. Pretty close. Whoever said around 0.5 is close. It's a 0.47. Alright, that's before fire. 0.47. Hot spots out, glowing evenly. .66. .65-ish. Six three, 6.4. Pull it down. I actually used to vape 24 gauge 32 in my Noisy Cricket. Actually, I bet you if I tighten this down a little more now. Alright. This makes more sense now that I was just thinking about it. 0.56. Alright. 0.56, 5.8, 5.9. Alright, so just remember that. So at the end, 0.6-ish. After fire. Before fire, it was 4.7. So now we're going to take that out, and we're going to put the 8-wrap regular coil in. Same wire without the Clapton. I'm going to try to install it with the leads the same exact. Tighten down the screws the same exact. I'm just going to have them snug this time. And then I'll really crank them down after I get the hot spots out. Turn down the watts. What do you mean, how many wraps is it? It's an 8-wrap. 8 wraps, 0.6 single coil. A 6-wrap, it would be around a 0.45 or something. Okay. So I'm getting 0.44. Alright? So it raised the ohms. So far, it raised the ohms, having a Clapton on there. Because you have a long strand of wire also on there. Comprende? It was 4.7 before. So let's see what happens after I get the hot spots out and heat it up. So when it was 0.66 before, it was just 0.6. But when I cool it down, now look at it. So glowing even. Alright. It's a 0.58 right now. Now watch what happens when I cool it down. So the Clapton has higher ohms. If you put a Clapton wire on wire, it's got higher ohms. It goes up. Oh shit. .27 gauge aliens are awesome. Yeah, I love 27 gauge, 36 gauge, 5-wrap aliens. All right. I'm firing it. I'm getting 0.5, 0.54, 0.57-ish. Doesn't go above 0.57. Oh, let me tighten down the screws again. .54, 0.56. So all the numbers are lower without the Clapton. Yeah, I like the 27 on regulated. Alright, so that was a fun little test. This came back with Addy. Is that Nick? What'd you say, Brad? Alright. Oh, what Addy is that? It's the Comp Vape double vision. So it's a 22 millimeter. It's a double vision. It's the same thing as the Seminole, only 22 millimeter. It's a smaller version of the Seminole. Alright. Let me wrap this coil up and then we'll look at the Druga right quick and I'll show that off a bit. The Druga upgrade. You want to make sure that your fusing wires don't grab on each other when you're wrapping this, because they will pop each other. So I think I'm going to put this in a single coil RDA. There's a spaceship coil. That's what I'm calling it. Pretty cool. The goon. Hands down. Not even a question. I mean, maybe these posts will change my mind a little bit, but I don't think anything builds better than the goon. I really don't. To tell you the truth, I mean, the Druga it's cool and all. I don't think it even comes close. The only addies that I think even come close to the goon is the Twisted Messes 24 for building. The Twisted Messes 24. I'm sure I can think of others, but that's pretty much the only one I can think of off the top. Oh, the Seminole. The Seminole 24 is a really good for building. I guess the Druga's up there, sure. Why not? Yeah, Siegfried's pretty cool. So I'll put the specs in the description. I know I always say that, and I gotta go back and do it. Yeah, I got a bunch of goons too. But I'm hoping that this wire gets me where I gotta go with the other coil I wanted to do. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, everybody. The Apocalypse isn't a good building deck, in my opinion. I don't think it's a builder's deck at all. Exactly the reason why you said. Having that screw in the middle doesn't make it a good builder's deck. It's not a goon killer. Maybe vape-wise, it vapes good. The cap is so sick. I love the Apocalypse cap. I think it looks fucking awesome. I think for a cloud comp, I was going to put it in the GoVad. I was. That's actually exactly what I'm thinking. That's where that's going to go. It's in my school bag downstairs, though. And I think I may want to keep that for... just in case these other RDAs don't come, then Tuesday is going to be the GoVad. Oh, he's got a recoil cap for the goon? I think that's awesome. I didn't know that. Is that why that's all that's been around? Yeah, that's going to hold mad juice, that coil I just made. Mad juice. Alright. So, the Druga. I'm sure everybody knows the Druga. Awesome little Addy. I got these kind of little stitched aliens in there. Or big stitched aliens. I did these last week, I think last Friday. Videos up on my YouTube. Alright, so recently they put out an upgrade kit, which basically is new pins that apparently have bigger slots in them to fit wider coils and bigger coils. So those are pretty big slots, pretty big pins. I mean, lots of people love building on this. I think it's very nice to build on. I don't really dig that, how it's not connected at the top. I haven't opened this yet. I've only looked at the cap. So you buy this this upgrade kit for the Druga. The only place I could find this was Augvape, and it took a while to get here. It's a miniature case of what they give you with the Druga. This is what the Druga came in. And this is what the upgrade kit came in. So you get to choose, like if you picked your color cap, obviously I picked the heat treated, which I absolutely love this cap. So I'd like to keep this cap clean like this. And probably not use it that much, especially at work, because it looks alright on camera, but in real life it looks awesome. So I bought a green cap. Because I don't have a green cap for anything. I got lots of colors, but I don't have green. And it comes with a different kind of drip tip. It comes with this knurled drip tip. Caps are really nice. They all got nice finishes. I really like their caps a lot. They're a lot like the goon shape. I mean, this is the 22, but you could imagine if it was bigger, I mean, it would look a lot alike. Actually, I have a goon right here. Yeah, I like the green cap a lot, and I just never had a green cap. And I was hoping that it may match this pretty good. Better than most things. It's more of a neon green, but yeah, the Druga was out before the 1.5, yeah. So well, the thing with the goon, the first one, is it had that whistle with them 3 holes. It had that nasty whistle when you got it in a certain spot. But, I mean, a lot of RDAs have done this airflow here. but I'm sure it was an influence. Yeah. Money, what's that? Alright, so here's the new pins that it comes with. I guess you don't get, which is weird because this thing's fairly expensive for this kit. I mean, I think it was like, it's damn near the price of the, it's damn near the price of the fucking Addy. I think it's like $25, and the Addy you could get for like $30. So here's the upgraded pins, and you see, like I said, that the top ain't on these. So I got to use my old screws, which I think they should have gave you new screws with it, whatever. I just think that should have been in there. I'm actually wondering why they're not. I could have swore they came with them. That's fucking weird. Okay, whatever. So yeah, that's not a cool design right there. This is way better. And it's bigger by the littlest bit. I'm gonna be honest, I thought this was gonna be bigger than this. I really did. I would need like something to measure. They look damn near the same. They're the same. So basically, I mean, really, you're buying a cap and you're buying for, you know, for the tops to be connected, which is, I mean, it's basically like a design that they thought, you know, they probably should have just thought out better. Because also, I have had problems with this since this is hollow. Like, sometimes your coil gets caught up in there. So that's the reason why I also don't like that opening. So yeah, it's an upgrade, but I thought these were going to be bigger. I could have swore I read that, like, everywhere. So now I'm going to go back to all the posts that I seen, and maybe I just assumed. I mean, even if they probably just should have made them bigger. Looks like they could. Whatever. I got a cap. What did end up happening is I went to go order it, and it was like 25, and I was good for it. So I went to go order it. Yeah, you make an ass out of you and me. I think I would use bigger post, absolutely. I actually could show you an example right now. That coil fits. I actually already had this problem with something. That coil don't fit. You have to put it in sideways to get it to fit. I mean, this isn't like a humongous build either. This is a 10-ply staple stagger fuse Clapton. This ain't like something like ridiculous. Yeah, Goon would eat this up. So absolutely, I would use that space. Alright. Nah, not 20. That's probably 26 gauge frames. You know what? It's got to be 26. I don't know. I really don't know. It's probably 26. I usually do 26 on these. Okay, so like I was saying, so I went to go order this. So this may change your mind a little bit about it. I went to order this. It was $25 or whatever, and they didn't take PayPal. So I got all the way to the checkout, and they didn't have PayPal. So I wanted to go put money on my PayPal account. And by the time I did that, it was the next day. They sent me an email saying, hey, finish your whatchamacallit, we're going to give you 30% off. So it ended up being like $16. So I only paid like $18 after shipping for this. So they're usually $25, but straight from the Vape site, you know, I only paid $18 after shipping. Yeah, a lot of sites don't take PayPal, and I think that's ridiculous. So, $18. Got a nice cap, nice drip tip, and that little upgrade in the posts, which I thought they were going to be bigger, but it doesn't change my mind about the Druga. It's still a very nice RDA. And I might have assumed that they were bigger. I'm definitely going to look back at all the posts that I've seen, because I thought that it was going to be bigger holes. I'm just trying to find a flathead right now. And the Druga is really affordable. Like, it's like, I think it's $30 like everywhere right now. And they have all these different colors. So if you don't have one, I think it definitely is a must. If you're a builder and just a vapor in general. Yeah, if it's like don't take PayPal, I usually won't use them either. Luckily, that this was the only site I could find it. I also think this upgrade kit. I mean, lots of people had problems stripping these screws. I think it should have came with an extra set of these, and I think it should have came with an extra set of these. Let me see what this comes with. This doesn't even come with an extra set of them. God damn. What the fuck? Yeah, see, this is the type of shit that just makes me wonder sometimes. did not think that this video was going to go this way. So the Goon 1.5 at a PayPal site. Man, where it takes PayPal that does the Goon. There's definitely ones in China. IG post for all vape says 2.5mm slots on upgrade kit, and I guess it doesn't say that that's an upgrade. It just says that's the slots. Alright. Maybe I just assumed. Yeah, I think they should be bigger. Even if they could do, I'm not even asking for 3mm. Let's just say, because personally, I thought, this might have been where I assumed, I thought they connected this top because they had to make it stronger because they made it wider. If that makes any sense to anybody. You know what I mean? So I figured they put this top on because they made these thinner. But, like I said, I don't even need 2.5, even if you built it up to like 0.28, 0.27. My 2.5 bit doesn't fit in either of these. The coil that I just made, it ain't going in here. That coil's going in the GoVAD probably. I wasn't really going to mount them tonight. I guess if you wanted to see it, I could go get the GoVAD real quick, but I'm not going to, yeah, I'm not going to color them and wick them and use them, because I'd rather take pictures. Alright, Stanley. Yeah, I'll get the glow on Instagram, but I can't do that all now. Gotta take good pics. I could do that. I can mount it in the GoVAD and show you the ohms. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, see, I don't really have any ideas for an RDA. Quite honestly, I think there's too many already. I wouldn't want to make an RDA just because somebody was giving me a chance to. I'd want to have an idea and go to somebody and be like excited that I had an idea that I think would work. Yeah, right. I probably just... I don't even know if I could even make the Goon any better, to tell you the truth. Maybe a little wider, maybe like a 28mm Goon? Which I think something like that is probably eventually going to come out. I think they're just going to keep going bigger and bigger now that they got the bigger batteries. I'm pretty sure that's probably what's going to happen. Oh yeah, that dot mod RDA. Yeah, I want that. It's actually not as expensive as the originals either. I love me dot mod. Love me some dot mod. I don't like their mods too much, but I love their RDAs. Awesome, Brad. Yeah, that hybrid. So still a cool upgrade. If you want to get a different cap, I'd say go for it. If you're picky about stuff like this, I'd say go for it. More so if you want both, though. I still think it's a good upgrade. I'm glad that they did it because lots of companies make mistakes and they don't make stuff like this available. Like, I think that was a mistake having this cut out, and I'm glad they made it available. That you have to pay for it, you know. I'm glad they gave you a cap with it because if you had to buy them alone, I don't know how I feel about that, but the fact that you get a cap with it's pretty cool. I never seen that review. I never even heard of that dude. Yeah, it's like 65. That's what I seen it for too. It was like 64.99 or something like that. Check it out. All right, I'll check out that review. All right, guys, I'll go get the GoVAD real quick. I'll be right back. We'll install this coil. I'll at least give you the ohms. Alright. It was up here the whole time. So, like I said, if I don't get my addies this week, or one of my addies this week, I'll do this one. Right now, I just want to throw this build in it. But, big up to Brad, BC Collins, for, supporting the channel by giving this to me. Go follow him on Instagram. Got to hang out at the vape shop today for a bit. So like I said, this is a lot like the Pharaoh, only they were a little smarter about it. The deck looks fucking awesome. I love how the gold pops out. This is by the same people as the icon, so you guys know how much I like the icon. The only problem I have with the icon is the post chipping. It might have been my fault, I don't know. Not from being rough, but I might have put it in an ultrasonic cleaner a bit too long. But that thing vapes awesome, it builds really awesome, so I don't know. It's got springs. Cool. Install this bitch toot sweet. On the first batch, so you're telling me if I got the second batch? Oh, man. I'd like to know, because I'd like to get another one if that's the case. Ugh. You know what? I'm installing this wrong. This isn't supposed to be like this. You're supposed to install it upside down. You could just tell. Like, see how far away it is from that air? So I'm installing this wrong. Yeah, it probably looks better this way. So I guess I'll show you guys this way, but yeah, you could bend it down, but more what I was thinking is, yeah, I could just push down on it. But what I'm thinking they want you to do, which most single coils like this pretty much are set up like this, is they want you to go, and I want it like this, which kind of sucks, because my lead's a little fucked up there. I would have to, damn it. Ugh. I could just put another wrap in it and take that wrap out, but then that's going to leave me short on my other coil that I want to do with this. But how short? Fuck it. Oh! That could have sucked. All that work, I would have burnt the lead, and it would have been your fault. Yeah, go ahead. Install the coil. I want to see the ohms. Whoa. Heck, some good distance. I'm using my camera phone. I got an LG camera phone, 13 megapixel. Yeah, it should be a pretty good vape. I'm pretty stoked that I have about 30 watchers almost all night. Stayed around that number, and usually it goes down at the end, but it looks like it's actually only have gone up. And actually earlier on Instagram, I had a lot of viewers compared to usual. So let me give you the ohms real quick. 0.12 before fire. So that's about a 4 or 5 wrap. I consider this, I call these 4 5s. I usually hate it when people say that, but when it's in a single coil this way, it's kind of like a 5 wrap, kind of like a 4 wrap. If you flipped it upside down, it'd be a 4 wrap. But like this, it's a 5 wrap. So I call it a 4 or 5 wrap. Good. Good, good, good. Yep, I just keep hitting this button at 1 watt, 0.12. It'll probably end up being a 0.14, something like that, 0.15 at the end of the day. Still 0.12. Alright. So like I said earlier in the video, next week, next Saturday, I'm going to kick off the giveaway somehow. I guess I'm going to have it figured out how you're going to be able to enter. I'm going to have it figured out what's going to be the prizes. But this time, I want to make sure, besides the juice I have to wait because I have to ask people what nick they like. So besides the juice, I want to have everything ready so I can send it out like within days, because the last time I had the last people waiting pretty long. Luckily they were pretty cool with it. So I want to just have it. I want to have all the postage ready so I could just do it and just get it out like as soon as somebody wins. Within days of me, I could get the juice. The place that I get the juice from isn't far from me at all. The Zombies E-Liquid headquarters, so yeah, people could wait for free shit, right? But still, on me, it gets a little annoying. It gets to be a pain in the ass having to always go do something. I'd rather have it ready on myself, so I help myself out a bit too. Thanks, guys. Thanks. So, I'm going to close this video out. It was a good one. I like this video. This one went pretty good. The last couple lives went good for a little there. Yeah, Tyler, well, it'll be up. It'll be up. Yeah, go ahead, ask a question. Ask away. Anybody could ask anything right now, I don't care. I got a lighter. Yep, I did get a lighter. You made it through a whole video. Yeah, this one was long too. It didn't feel that long. Usually when something's fucking up, it feels long, but a drill motor. I kind of remembered. I forgot, and I had to go back out to a store. Do you think you need to use the hot glue? I haven't. I started using hot glue a very little bit ago. I didn't use hot glue for the longest time. For years, I didn't use hot glue. Try the hot glue. Yep, try the hot glue. It definitely helps a lot. Like once I started using hot glue, I had a lot less problems. So you know how people get these they get these like hand vices to put into their drills. Well, with hot glue you don't need that because you just put a big glob on it and put it in your drill, and you could get it to be straight in the center. And yeah, William, I've been building for, it's got to be 3 years now. Yeah, if you're having trouble with your stuff staying straight, try the hot glue. Try using more binding things like ribbon to bind. I'm gonna go on Instagram and look at actually when I started on Instagram. I was building before I got on Instagram because I didn't know Instagram was that big. I heard about it, but I'm gonna go look at the exact date. But I'm pretty sure it was like March 2014 or something like that. Might have been 15. March 15. It might be 2.5 years on IG, and I was building a couple months before that. Well, that's it. Yeah, 6-core fuse Clapton isn't easy anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna do a braid soon. A 6-core fuse Clapton ain't easy. A 3-core fuse Clapton and 4-core fuse Clapton ain't easy neither. It's actually, in my opinion, it's easier to do a 3-core alien, a 4-core alien, a 5-core alien. It's easier to do that than a 5-core frame staple or fuse Clapton, a 3-core fuse Clapton, because the alien wire will actually put the wires in the shape that you need them. Yeah, so with the fuse Clapton, I don't prep them so much. Like if I do a 3-core fuse Clapton, I do the same thing I do with lots of builds. I just go a little bit and crimp it with the nylon pliers. I go a 1/4 inch, crimp it. Go a 1/4 inch, crimp it. Go a 1/4 inch, crimp it. It's a lot like a stagger fuse Clapton 3-core. You got to get them wires straight. Yeah, use them alien makers. I think that would definitely help a lot. Thanks, Joshua. I'm glad people get something out of this. That's what I was saying. That 38 gauge is it's like the perfect gauge for the tuning wire. I have done them in 40, and that worked pretty good too. I'm good with the alien maker. Yeah, Joshua. Yeah, there you go, Josh. So if somebody pays shipping, you can get some alien makers. The Nickheads vape meat. I don't even know about this Nickhead vapes meat. So if anybody doesn't know what the Nickheads thing's all about, I'm actually thinking about setting up something else too. I have a chat in Instagram, and I started it when I was doing the Instagram live videos. And oh shit, surprise. I started it when we got when I was doing the Instagram live. Basically, it was a place I was just going to tell people when I was going on live, and then a couple minutes before I went live, just be like, hey, I'm heading on now. So I still do that. And at first I said, you know, when I say something, don't really chat in there because it's going to, you know, people ain't going to see when I'm on. But the chat, you know, it fucking runs all day pretty much. So I didn't name it that neither. I'm not that it's a cool name, but it's not a cool name if you make it up, if it's your name, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm thinking about putting it in a different place because the problem is you can only put 15 people in that chat. So I don't know. I guess if more people ask me to do something like that, even though I pretty much run on a schedule, you know. Yeah, you can't make up your own nickname. If everybody made up their own nickname, everybody'd have like good nicknames and stuff. Could use all gauges for the 3-core fuse Claptons. I'm trying to go back and see what everybody's talking about. Call me Steel Dagger. Call me Big Dick Nick. You know, shit like that. Call me the Machine. Call me Big Dick Cool Dude. Slap Dragon. That's funny. Redneck, redneck means where redneck comes from is it refers to usually a white person, kind of a working class. It's usually like a landscaper or a contractor. It's usually a connotation to it's sometimes considered a white trash kind of a thing. But really what it means is, yeah, a construction worker or a landscaper. So a redneck is you have a tan in the back of your neck because your head's down so much, the sun's hitting it, that your neck turns red. Yeah, the sun, yeah. A farmer tan almost, yeah. Most farmers are rednecks, yeah. But like I've seen, like, it's funny because I was just watching True Blood, and there's like that dude Lafayette died. The dude that plays Lafayette fucking died. So there's a part where he gets into a fight with like his cousin's boyfriend, and all the white people are looking at him fighting, and the people are looking at him fighting, and he turns around and he's like, "What y'all looking at, your necks?" So sometimes, I guess in the South, black people will call rednecks just necks, just shorten it and call them necks. Pretty funny. So the specs of this is the very inside core that you can't see is 26 gauge. The micro Clapton, the micro Clapton is 34 gauge in 42 gauge, and then 0.4 ribbon on the side, 27 on the side of that, 27 frames, and then 40 gauge is fusing it all together. I'll definitely put it in the description, like right now when I get off. You make a triangle with 20 gauge wire and keeps the tail on the triangle to put the rail. Okay, so this is what Redneck's saying. I know exactly what he's talking about. I've actually done this on one of the videos. I can't tell you which video because I forget. He just had a heart attack. It was just a heart attack. Fucking young ass dude too. I can't say he's a young ass dude, but I mean, I don't think he was much older than like 40. Young for a heart attack and die, you know. Most people that have heart attacks at that age pretty much live through it. So what Redneck's saying is you don't necessarily have to make a triangle, but you could do this a bunch of different ways. I just did that wrong. Alright. Twist these together. I was just using a bobby pin today. I use a bobby pin a lot, actually. I use these for my micro Claptons. Alright. So now the idea of this is, I usually just leave them round because I find it easier to get a center point. But the good thing about having a triangle now this is a pretty big triangle. You can make them much smaller. Use like 20 gauge, 22 gauge, 20 gauge, whatever. Alright, and you can kind of center your build, especially if you hot glue it on there. So what's good about having a triangle instead of a circle, though, is if you have a wide build, it puts some sturdiness in the back. So you hot glue it to there. You know, you have your frames long so you could wrap it around the triangle. And it kind of keeps this sturdiness to it because that triangle is in the back of all them cores. And it's a good way to keep your build center. I've also showed how to make like a swivel hook with some 22 gauge. Like you can make a fishing swivel hook fairly easy with 20 gauge. I only have 24 right here. So you take the end here, bend it in on itself. So that's what I got so far. But I got to turn that hook over the other way. So I just grab it with my needle noses and twist. Alright. And then that'll hook into that. And when you pull pressure on it, it's only going to keep it closed. You got to do this with 22 or 20 gauge though, not with 24. But when I pull this, it keeps it closed. Alright. And then you could either install this in your drill, or you could take just like a fishing hook. You could install it on your swivel. By putting a loop in it. Alright. And when I pull these, all that's going to happen is it's going to make this close more. It won't ever open up. It won't ever do anything but just close more. I'm like pulling tension on that. Well, 24 gauge, that's what happens, but they work pretty good. I've made them a couple times. Works good just to put on the end of your swivel. That's going to work better with Canthol because it's not as soft. Or stainless steel, it works good with also. Alright, man, this has turned into a long-ass video. I'll talk to you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you Tuesday. I'll have some kind of RDA. If not, we'll look at the GoVAD and do a build just like always. I'll try to get another video up. I know I set my goal to do the frame stable and I didn't, but yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekends. Yeah, everybody have a good night or a good day, depending on where you're at.